Plans playing out part 3. You never interfere when the enemy is destroying themselves. You see, the Great Awakening itself is parallel to the enemy destroying themselves because the enemy's plan is built on lies and deception. So when there's a Great Awakening and people understand the truth, the lies and deception no longer work anymore. But the enemy is predictable, and that's the only thing that they know how to do. So in response to the Great Awakening, they double, triple, and quadruple down on lies and deception, just creating an even bigger Great Awakening, which creates them to continuing to destroy themselves. You see, at this point in time, they were really hoping that there would be much more death, that there would be lockdowns that would kill a lot more business and hurt a lot more people's pockets, and they were really hoping that a lot more people would get the VAX so that they could introduce the passports to inflict even more control over your life. Let me see your passport. Did you get your first booster, your second booster, and your third booster? If not, then you can't come into this grocery store. Sorry, you can't work here anymore. You can't fly anymore either. Forget about going out to dinner. Forget about banking here. You can't have a debit card. You can't have a credit card. You can't even get a loan for your house or a car. No gas for you. And hand over every single gun that you have, or you can't do any of those things either. Some of this sounds a little bit crazy, but there was a lot of things people were saying over a year ago that sounded crazy, and here we are, because it's all about control. That is what this whole entire thing is about. Power is a drug for people, and in order to get more of their drug, they need more control, because if you have more control, then you have more power. And the Great Awakening is depriving them of their drug. States are rising up saying we're not going to mandate that. Businesses are rising up saying we're not going to mandate that. And companies are walking back what they thought they were going to mandate, and they're not going to mandate it. Now, this is where I talk about Trump for a second. It is my belief that he really never left. He just took a step back so that you could see what the truth was. You see, you have to look at this season from the big picture. It's the old guard going down, the new guard coming in. When Trump got in 2016, that didn't mean that the old guard fell. That only meant that the new guard did something to get ready to take the old guard down. In his first term, he put a lot of things in place in order to set this Great Awakening up to take down the old guard. A lot of details to go into, but basically he's stepping back so that you could see the old guard destroy itself. I mean, let's just talk about some of this. Dictator mandates, calling American citizens terrorists, allowing real terrorists like the Taliban to take over Afghanistan while killing U.S. citizens and leaving tons of equipment, Facebook censoring things from the White House, critical race theory in schools, border crisis, trans athletes in sports, Keystone Pipeline down, inflation through the roof, endless gas. It's all causing a Great Awakening, and it's all causing them to destroy themselves.